Welcome back to Below the Line. We're here with Tyler Garnett, and let's get into some of the detailed differences with PA work and other departments, and of course working with the actors. The difference between a PA and a key PA.
Okay, a key PA is kind of the head of the crew. He's going to assign the lockups. A lockup is basically camera shooting in one direction. You want to make sure that no one's entering or leaving or coming across the shot, which doesn't seem like it'd be that hard and people wouldn't do it. As soon as you point a camera there, all of a sudden everyone wants to stand in front of it. It's just this really weird phenomenon. So a key PA will do that. He'll also run, on a movie, he'll run first team. First team is the main actors, and so he'll work with getting them to and from set, from base camp, and just kind of keeping track of them and doing a lot of the paperwork. So that's the key PA versus the regular PA.
And the first team you said is the actors. And there's also a term called second team.
Yep, the second team is your stand-ins, and so you want to always kind of keep track of your stand-ins because they have a tendency to kind of wander off and not to be paying attention too much about what's going on. But
getting some of that craft service.
Yeah, no
down
kidding.
The hall.
If you can hear my stomach there.
How is it to break into the PA business?
That's a good question. For me, it wasn't that hard, and maybe it's because I had a master's in film, and maybe I got lucky to start in January, and January is a very busy month for us, but for other people, they have a harder time. I think one thing is just to be persistent, to keep calling people, to keep, to do the networking, to not be afraid to just say like, hey, I'm still here, I'm still out here, I'd like an opportunity, because a lot of times the coordinators or the ADs or whoever's hiring will forget, or they'll be working with somebody else. So just a friendly email or call to say, I'm available if you have any work, and they take it pretty kindly. So
it's back to the networking again.
Back to the networking, and just constant kind of the squeaky wheel gets fixed, and you will get work.
Without being annoying.
Without being annoying, and
Tricky.
there is definitely a line on that, and that's why it's just like a quick contact and quick. You don't have to ramble on. You don't have to say anything more than just like, hey, I'm available.
Advice for someone wanting to get into what you're doing. Of course, somewhere else, because you're in charge here. You're the man here.
Well, knowing me helps. No, I'm just kidding. But I would say advice would be to, once you do get on set, to pay attention. A lot of people they look at the stars and they look at all the lights and the camera, and they just kind of get mesmerized by that, but you're not there to watch, you're there to work. So that'll help you to keep getting work. Advice to get work is to just turn over every single stone that's in town. Call the coordinators, call the ADs, call anybody that you know that knows somebody in the film industry. Call the camera department who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. Just don't really give up. And then also you got to want to do it, and if you want to do it bad enough, you can get on, but again, it's not something that's just like cool that you do to meet famous people. The work is too hard and doesn't pay enough for that.
Are there other PA jobs in other departments, such as the camera department or art office? There are PAs within other departments.
Yeah, I've been talking today pretty much about primarily production PAs, which is kind of the overall catch. There's also camera PA, which works just with the camera departments, and like you said, art department. And the difference is basically with the production PA, you can be pulled into these categories, but for the PAs that are specifically drawn or for that department, they don't really leave that department. You know what I mean? So you can go in as a production PA and work with the camera department, but the camera PA doesn't leave the camera department. And then basically as a PA, you do whatever needs to be done within that department. So
lots going on.
Man, I'm telling you, somehow there's always something that needs to be done. There's just always, if they can just think of anything, you're doing it. And it's a lot of fun. You learn a lot. Being around the camera, being on sets, being just backstage to anything. I mean, you pick up so much information, which from being a PA, that leads you then into the department you want to work in, because you see it and you work with people and you say, that's where I want to go career-wise, and then you head in that direction.
Now let's get into PAs dealing with the actors and the extras.
Okay.
The PA gets assigned to the extras. What should they do to be in compliance with being on the set?
Okay, so I love being a background PA. I love dealing with people. I love having days where we have 300 to 400 background, depending on how big it can be. It can be down to 5, down to 1. But the main thing to be a great background PA is to remember these are still people. Okay, a lot of times you want to just get frustrated with all the questions. Can I run to my car? I didn't bring any ID. When's lunch? You know, this and that, and you want to get frustrated. But just remember, you know, to kind of try to keep your head and to have a good time, and like your energy will flow into them. And so if you can stay really upbeat and big, it will pay off on camera, and the crew will notice that too.
Any funny, weird, or crazy stories? Which I'm sure happens on every set that you can recall.
I was just talking not too long ago about a shoot we were doing, and a tornado came through on this shoot. You remember that one?
I heard about it. It was a commercial.
Yep. And what happened was I was joking around with everyone before, and I was like, hey, if anything crazy happens, if there's a tornado, you know, this is what we're going to do. And I don't know if I jinxed us or what, but it really happened in hail and winds, and we had to hide out in the bathrooms until it passed.
That's part of a day's work, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Okay. That was great. We thank you so much for coming. What can we expect next from Tyler? Staying busy, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've got a TV pilot I'm working on, which is exciting, and I'm trying to get that funded up and going. And there's always just, like, literally, as soon as you think there's nothing going on, you get a phone call and you're working again. So you can never plan too far out ahead because it just lands in your lap.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
We'll have more coming up right after this.
We'll be right back with more Below the Line.
My next guest is a triple threat. He acts, he sings, he composes music. He does a little dancing too. Please welcome actor, singer, songwriter Jeff Luckadoo. How are you? Good. Have a seat. Hi Jeff, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Good. Let's get right at it. You're an actor and a musician. Mm-hmm. You started doing both, I believe, in high school, right?
Yes. Started acting sophomore year in high school, and caught the bug first time on stage.
And you also did some in college, I believe, too, didn't you? Plays and productions?
Yeah, I did a few plays in college, and then got out of college, got the real job, and did that thing for a while, but I always missed it, and got back into it about 10 years ago.
And you're acting, and you're staying busy and writing music as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing that's happened, which doesn't happen often around here, which is a musical-themed film that comes to the area.
Yes.
You were cast in the movie Praise Band, and where you were able to incorporate your acting and some of your music. Tell us about the audition and how you found out about the project.
Well, I got a phone call from a friend who thought that this project sounded like something I would just really love, and I went to the audition and had to sing a song and read from the script. It was a cold read, and luckily got the part.
And after how many callbacks?
On that one, it was just the one audition.
Wow, they loved you in the beginning, huh?
Well,
that makes you feel good.
Yeah, that's nice. It doesn't usually happen that way, but this time it did.